Is it time to panic, guys? 3 losses in a row, 1 in the Champions League and 2 in the Premier League. That surely rings some alarm bells, doesn't it? But honestly, the results on their own shouldn't cause too much worry. Even the best teams in the world lose games. These things happen. What's really concerning though is the way we're losing and how other teams have started to spot and exploit some of our weaknesses. That's what's leading to these results. And believe it or not, Chelsea's first goal came from a tactic very similar to one they used against us last season when we met them at the Bridge. Now, I know you probably don't want to relive that match, but trust me, you'll want to understand what's going wrong for us at the moment. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and let's dive right into the video. We'll start as always with the formation. Mamardashvili was in goal after Alisson picked up an injury in the last game. The backline stayed the same, with Milos Kerkez on the left, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk as the centre-backs, and Connor Bradley holding down the right side. In midfield, Wirtz dropped to the bench, while Ryan Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Dominik Szoboszlai got the start. Up front, the attack featured Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah and Alexander Isak leading the line. A strong enough starting 11 to compete and even win against a struggling Chelsea side, right? Well, that first half turned out to be the complete opposite of that, since we no longer have Trent's passing range from deep to split defences apart, and knowing that our midfielders aren't the type to drop and dictate play, mostly because it's just not part of their habits. Maresca and Chelsea went with a risky but very simple defensive plan. They decided to go man-to-man all over the pitch. It sounds basic, but it was incredibly effective. Let me show you exactly what they did. Take a look here. Garnacho and Joao Pedro are tightly marking our centre-backs, while their midfielders are on Gravenberch and McAllister. Neto is sticking close to Kerkez on the far side. Normally, when a team commits that many players forward, you'd expect their fullbacks to stay back and protect against counters. But Chelsea didn't do that. Watch Cucurella here. Instead of holding his position, he joins the press and pushes up to close down Bradley. Further up the pitch, you can see how their entire backline shifts to cover the spaces behind him. Their left centre-back steps wide to engage Salah, while the other centre-back follows Isak closely, leaving only Reece James deeper as the last bit of cover. Again, this was a very basic setup from Chelsea. Every player had a man to mark, following them wherever they went, or pressing them the moment they received the ball. Simple idea, but it worked brilliantly against us for the reasons we mentioned earlier. Not only did it force us to go long again and again, but whenever we tried to play short, we got caught out, giving away 5 high turnovers in dangerous areas. So why did it work so well? The answer is actually pretty straightforward. Out of everyone in our back line, Van Dijk is the only one who can consistently play out from the back under pressure. Konate needs very specific conditions to progress the ball, usually when he's out wide and has time to pick his pass. Kerkez and Bradley are both better at carrying the ball than passing it. Then there's the midfield. Our double pivot was far too static, with very little movement off the ball. That made it even easier for Chelsea to track and block them out of the game. When you put all of this together, it's no surprise that we looked panicked and kept losing our structure whenever Chelsea pressed high. Now, the positive side is that we actually found a solution to this problem in the second half. That's why our performance improved and why we eventually grabbed the equaliser. But before we get to that, let's look at another weakness that's been exposed for the 3rd time in just 1 week. Against both Crystal Palace and Galatasaray, teams have used the same tactic, dragging or pinning our midfielders to open up space behind the midfield line. Chelsea did the exact same thing before scoring their first goal, which, to be fair, was an absolute worldie. Here, you can see their defender trying to bait our press, inviting Szoboszlai to step up. Once the Hungarian commits, notice how Enzo drops deeper, pulling Gravenberch with him and opening up that crucial space behind the midfield line. This movement gives Chelsea the chance to play quick third-man combinations, which then allows Caicedo to receive the ball comfortably while facing forward, and from there he drives into space exactly like he did for the goal. And again, this is what worries us more than the results themselves. It's the same weaknesses being exposed time and time again. The same patterns opponents are using to gain an advantage. Remember, Chelsea scored from a very similar sequence last season when Palmer dragged Curtis Jones out of position and then burst forward with the ball. Crystal Palace targeted this same flaw last season too, so maybe it's time for Slot and his staff to finally address it. Now, enough with the negatives, let's talk about something positive. In the second half, we looked much better, and a big reason for that was the impact Wirtz and Jones made. Yes, you heard that right. Wirtz actually made a real difference, even though he still looked a bit hesitant whenever he received the ball. See, when you're playing against a team that uses man marking, constant off-ball movement becomes key. You need players who can move intelligently to cause confusion, pull markers out of position, and create space for others to receive the ball. That's exactly what Jones and Wirtz did in the build-up to our equaliser. Watch Wirtz here, he makes a sharp vertical run to relieve some of the pressure and drag his marker away. At the same time, Jones gives us something we were badly missing in the first half. He's the kind of player who can receive under pressure, turn on the ball, and help us keep secure possession. Once we managed to resist Chelsea's press for a bit, all our midfielders began rotating positions, moving across the pitch to disrupt their pressing shape. This movement changed everything. It allowed Isak to pin Cucurella back, stopping him from stepping out to press Szoboszlai. And just like that, as Chelsea's shape became stretched and confused, we were finally able to find Isak between the lines. He linked up with Zobo, who this time had time and space since Salah's positioning held Cucurella in place. With Wirtz continuing to dart around the defenders and Isak using his long reach to win loose balls, we finally got the equaliser in a game that, honestly, we could have easily lost in the first half. Now, even though our performance improved in the second period, I think we can all agree that we didn't really deserve to win it. That late goal we conceded, we have only ourselves to blame for that one. So what can we really take from this game? First of all, it's another reminder that football isn't just about results. It's about how you play, how you react when things go wrong, and how you deal with teams that figure you out. Yeah, 3 losses in a row doesn't look good, but what matters more is the way we're losing. And perhaps it's about time Slot tried to figure things out before these losses start to affect our season. Sure, he keeps tweaking things halfway through games. For example, Jones and Wirtz made a big difference in that second half. They gave us more movement, more control, and a bit of confidence on the ball. We didn't suddenly turn into prime Barcelona or anything, but at least there was some intent, some structure, and a bit of belief again. That's what we've been missing lately. Still, we can't ignore the issues. Teams have spotted a pattern and are using the same tricks to hurt us every week. That's on Slot and his staff to fix. The players are good enough, but we need better reactions, more awareness, and more bravery to play under pressure. Until we sort that out, we'll keep making life harder for ourselves. At the end of the day, that's football. You win some, you lose some, but what really matters is how you respond. Hopefully the lads take this as a lesson and come back stronger in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.